Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're gonna be going over my budget for April 2022, as well as my money goals. We're gonna be going into April in just a few days, and I cannot believe that, first of all. This is the end of quarter 1, and we are already gonna be starting a new month. And I am honestly just feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and I have never felt so unsure about my budget in a month like I do right now. The reason I feel overwhelmed is more so because I have this list of things that I'm trying to get done and I feel behind on them just because I've been a lot busier. I wouldn't say I feel overwhelmed with my finances, and technically, like, if I want to pay off my debt this year, I am considered behind, but I don't feel stressed about that at all. Like, I'm just going with the flow of things, and I honestly don't mind that. So even though my budget for April is like, I don't know, you'll see what I mean when I talk about it. I just have no clue what to expect for April, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just been really hard for me to plan everything out just because of all the unknowns about the month. But as I look at it, it's also like it doesn't really matter. And as long as I'm getting closer to my goal each month, that's really my main concern. So of course I will always be progressing, whether I spend more money than I expect to or not. And there have been a lot of changes in my life recently where my finances are kind of taking a back seat, and not in the sense of like I don't care about my money. It's just that I have to prioritize other things and make sure that things are going well in those other areas of my life. And things like my side hustles or the personal projects that I was working on may have to slow down for some time, even though I didn't want them to or I didn't expect them to, but that is perfectly okay with me. So I do feel a little bit overwhelmed, but at the same time, I guess I don't really care. So it's a good feeling. But I'm gonna start with my money goals for April, and I actually only have 2 this time. I'm gonna just kind of keep it simple. The first one is to do with my student loans. So in case you are new here and you don't know, I do have student loan debt left. I have $36,000, but I've been saving for that while they're in forbearance and at 0% interest. Now, this is supposed to end May 1st, 2022, but I truly don't believe that's going to happen. I don't think we're gonna have to start paying them then, because by now we would have received emails and stuff of oh, prepare to pay back your student loans. But I know that they didn't want, Biden and his administration did not want those emails going out. So to me, that sounds like they're gonna keep pushing it. I bet you by the time that I post this video, there's gonna be an announcement within the next 2 days, because I'm filming this a few days before it actually goes up. But I bet you there's gonna be an announcement saying that we don't have to, it's gonna be extended. So I have no clue, but I am still planning to have to pay them in May. So my goal is to have at least $17,000 saved total for my student loan debt. So my plan all along has been to save this money in my high yield savings account. At the time of me filming this, I have a little bit over $15,000. So by the end of March, I'm hoping to get around $16,000. And then by the end of April, my goal is to have at least $17,000. And ideally I would be a lot further along than that, but the $17,000 would be enough to cover my 2 student loans with the highest interest rate, assuming interest rates were still in place. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. So I have one loan that's $4,500 and then another that's $12,000 something. And those 2 happen to be the highest interest rates before the forbearance, and I wanted to pay those first. So if we do have to start making payments in May, I'll be able to knock off those 2 loans right away, and that would be really exciting. My second goal is to make at least $1,800 between my online and extra income. So usually I break this down by just my online income, but to be honest, I don't think I'm gonna make that much in online income in the month of April. I mean, maybe, because anything could happen. But the way that my ad revenue has been coming so far in March, which I would get paid out in April, it's been looking a little bit lower than every other month, which is perfectly fine. That's pretty normal. But of course, making extra income is really important to me, because that's what helps me to stay on top of all of my bills and then some. So it allows me to pay off my debt and do all the things that I do with my money. So it is still important for me to make extra income and online income. So from the 2 of those, I would like to make at least $1,800 or more. And those are the only 2 goals that I'm gonna set for the month, just because everything else either falls into that category or it's just not necessary for April. And yeah, I do just want to kind of just hop into my budget, and I will talk through everything as we go through each expense. So I'm gonna go down to the bottom of your screen, and we're gonna go to my spreadsheet. If you're interested in these spreadsheets, I will have it linked down below and you can get them for free. You just have to make a copy. I also will be filming my budget through my Clever Fox budget planner, so stay tuned for that. It'll either be up the same day or this weekend, I don't know. But if you're interested in a written format, so me filming my hands writing what I'm budgeting, then I also will have a video for that. But let's go ahead and start with my income for April. And this is also just guesses. So of course my work income, I put $3,663.38 because if you see here, this is calculating $1,831.69 times 2. And where I got that number from is from my first ever paycheck at my new job. But I don't know if my second paycheck will be the same thing. Obviously, I'm making this budget before I get my second paycheck, so I don't know what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be around this amount. So it should be about 3,660 something or around that number. And this is lower than I had predicted initially, which is interesting. And so this is why it's so important for me to be making money elsewhere. And that's where business income will come in. So I put 1,400 as a predictor. I don't know if this is accurate. We will see what happens. But ideally it would be around this range. And then I put 400 for other income, so this is extra income from everything else. I actually expect my extra income to probably be higher than this, and maybe my business income will be a little bit lower. But as I said, my goal is 1,800, so I wanted this to be 1,800 together to represent that, and we should be good there. I think I will need to pull from sinking funds, so I'll add that in just a minute. But yeah, for now, this is what I'm expecting to make in April. And then we can go through my expenses. Taxes, I'm gonna keep this at 250. So here it says 280, but 250 might be, yeah, because this might be lower. I'm gonna keep it at 250. This doesn't really matter. I will just save the amount that I actually need to save. And that's just for my quarterly estimated taxes from my side hustle work. Sinking funds, still gonna be $1,200 per month, including my emergency fund. Roth IRA, I'm still doing $300 a month, and I'm gonna stick with that. I'm very excited to be investing in multiple places now. I left Coinbase on here, but I put it at 0, so I don't think I will be contributing to Coinbase whatsoever, but this may change just depending on how the rest of March goes. Donate, my usual 50. Rent, trash, and pest, that will still be $1,411. This is the final month at this rate because in May I did renew my lease for the 4th time, and it's gonna be a lot higher going forward. Yeah, starting in May, but I'll update you then. Wi-Fi, $55 with Google Fiber. Electricity, I'm expecting 65 or less. Hopefully that's the case. Water and sewage, I do know the month before, so that is going to be $31.42. My groceries, $450. Now this is high because my boyfriend and I are going to Hawaii in April, the last week of April, and I'm expecting to be buying a lot of groceries. And the reason that I'm gonna be taking up for the groceries is because my boyfriend, I'm very grateful that he spent the bulk of the money for this trip. So he purchased our flights, he purchased our Airbnb. I paid for the car rental, but everything else he has paid for so far. So I had said anything else that we do, I will pay for. And I feel like that's still not even gonna happen because just knowing how he is, he's probably gonna offer to pay for more things once we actually get there. But I wanted to be on the safe side, and so that's why I put $450 because we'll probably spend quite a bit on groceries there, as well as the next category, food out, I put at $150 because I do expect to go out to eat while we're there. I doubt that we'll go out to eat here, but maybe if we do, it would probably be small or he would pay for it. So he, as in my boyfriend, would pay for it while we're here. So I think 150 is fine. This may be higher, to be honest. I know that Hawaii is very, very expensive when it comes to food just because of, you know, where they're located, plus like current inflation rates are probably affecting them pretty badly. So I may be completely naive with these numbers, but that's what I'm gonna go with for now. Gas for my car, actually, I'm putting 50 total because I don't think I'll have to get gas for my car, but in Hawaii, we'll have to get gas. So I think that's why I put this higher. So yeah, if I end up purchasing gas while we're on vacation, I will put it under this category. Student loan savings, I put this at 1,000, but it probably, like, I don't know how much I'm gonna end up with at the end of March. So however much it takes me to reach 17,000 is ideal, is like what this number should be. But yeah, I just put 1,000 for now because I don't know. I think 1,000 would be right. Health and beauty, this is another category that I wasn't sure on. So $300 there because I know that I will have a doctor's appointment, so I'll have to pay a copay. There are probably going to be some supplements that I need to purchase, like my usual vitamins and supplements, which y'all know that cost me quite a bit just because I have a lot. And then I'm thinking about possibly squeezing a massage in there. I don't know. I may push a massage like into May. And then I also might need, like, I might get some IV therapy, but this is all to be determined. Next is my phone bill. That's still gonna be 40. And then dogs, which is money that I send to my sister for our dogs. I'm going down to 75. I actually had this at 0 initially because my sister is gonna be going out of town, so I'm gonna go stay with the dogs. And typically I would pay her like 100 something for everything that we pay for. But I was gonna do 0 because that's what we had agreed on, but I'm still gonna send some money because yeah, I'm only gonna be watching them for a few days and just like staying with them. It's not a big deal. So yeah, I'm gonna lower it to 75. Business, I have $12. This honestly might be higher depending on things that happen. It's just that I was expecting to be further along with things that I had planned, but as I said, things have kind of fallen to the back while I just focus on my new job. So $12 for now. This may be higher though. Netflix is higher. So before I was paying $13.99, now it's gonna be $15.49, which is fine with me. It's not a big deal. I do have personal on here for $50. You can see that put me in the red. So yeah, well, this is gonna continue to go red. So yeah, I'm putting 50 for personal. I don't know if there's anything specific that I'll be buying in April, but I figured like maybe if I wanna buy something in Hawaii or I don't know, that's just what I put. Then travel, this is a big one, $500. Now this includes everything else. Actually, I need to book a flight. In June, I'm gonna be going up to Massachusetts because my grandmother passed away last year and her memorial service is gonna be in June. So I do need to book a flight for that. I'm expecting that to be around $200 or so, hopefully less. And then everything else is the excursions that my boyfriend and I may or may not go on. So this would be like snorkeling I wanna do, or if we have to pay for parking at parks or going paddle boarding. Like there's all these activities that we have an idea of what we want to do. And again, I do want to pay for a lot of the things that like whatever else we have to pay for our trip, since he's already paid for so much, which is why this travel is here. The final thing on here is gifts because my dad's birthday is in April, and that is, I'm just putting 30 because usually my sister and I split it. And you can see we're pretty, yeah, this is pretty high. So one thing I can add is that I would pull money from my sinking funds. I'm trying to think of what I have in my travel sinking fund. So I'm gonna put this at 300 pulled from sinking funds. So that kind of helps this. And like if I had to change anything, it would obviously lower like my student loans and I would go back into the green. I know that's not ideal, but that's just how things are. But this is what I mean by like, I have no clue what's happening in April, and I found it just really difficult to determine which numbers I should put here because I don't know. I don't know how much things are gonna cost in Hawaii. I don't know if I'm gonna do all those health things. I don't know about the groceries or the food. Yeah, so there's just quite a bit that is unknown, and that's fine. That's just how some months go, and the best I can do is predict what those would be. And if I go over budget, then that is fine, because I usually go over budget anyway. Yeah, so this is all adding up. I would be spending about $5,700. Ideally, we would keep this at $1,000. So I would need to come up with some cash there, but not too bad overall. So yeah, that's everything for my April. I know it's a little bit all over the place, so I apologize for that. It's not a very pretty budget, and I feel like I had a lot to explain. So if you have any questions, please feel free to comment those down below. And also feel free to comment down below any of your goals for the month of April. I think this time of year is pretty exciting, and I just absolutely love the springtime. So I'm looking forward to that, plus my vacation. Hopefully y'all will be going on some trips soon as well. But that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, because it really helps my channel. And I will see you in my next video.